very relaxed. Relax. From your toes, to your ankles, to your knees, to your hips, to your elbows, to your shoulders, and finally, your head. Sleep. Sleep.
I'm floating, and it feels so good. I'm floating through an archway or a corridor, and it feels so wonderful. And I'm going down a long passageway, and it's so beautiful, and the air is crisp and clean and cool, and the sun is warm and wraps itself around me. And I'm on my way to have all my questions answered. Everything that I want to know will be revealed to me, and it feels so good. Yes, well, this is good. This is wonderful. I think what we can do here is bring you out of this now. So what I'm going to do is count to 3, and when I do, I want you to wake up. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Now, tell me about your deepest desires. Tell me about your wants. If you could write the script for the rest of your life, what would it say?
That's it. To be the owner, breeder, and trainer of a Kentucky Derby winner. Now that would be special. But whoa, what a long and treacherous road. I mean, first, you'd have to get a mare and take her to a stallion and breed her. And then, if everything goes perfectly well, 11 months later, a miracle happens. Sometime in the middle of the night, when it's stone cold quiet and no one else is making a peep, that baby is born. You hear another little nickering in the stall, and you know a miracle has happened. It's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your life. And that baby has to stand up on its own. It has to stand to be able to nurse, to be able to get any nutrition. And it's so painful to watch that baby trying to stand up. But you can't help that baby. You can't give it a helping hand, because if you do, you've ruined that baby, and it'll never make a racehorse. And the next day, like a miracle, that baby is walking and even running a little bit next to his mother's side. And by 1 week, that baby begins to look a little bit like a racehorse. He's running around. He's feeling frisky. And he's not that gawky creature anymore. Everything's starting to move in harmony. Watching that horse move is like a visual symphony. That horse was made to run. So now, it's time to think about training the horse. Training that horse to be the fastest thoroughbred of any of the other horses born that year, the winner of the Kentucky Derby. Because, I mean, it takes months and months and months of long, slow gallops so that you don't hurt your horse and you don't hurt anybody else either. I mean, this is a really long, slow process, or else someone's going to get hurt. And if your horse stays sound through this whole process, and he's the one that tells you that he's ready to go and to get on with it, well, you might be by that time able to actually go to the races. And that's really where the fun begins. Because all those long, long months of training finally pay off at the end of your 2-year-old year, and you break your maiden and get that first win under your belt. And then you start on your way down the Derby Trail, the Rebel Stakes, the Gotham Stakes, the San Felipe, the El Camino Real, the Santa Anita Derby, the Wood Memorial, and the Toyota Bluegrass Stakes. Read like a road map on your way to the winner's circle at Churchill Downs, and your place in history as the first owner, breeder, and trainer of the Kentucky Derby.
That's it. That's it. That's it. What I really need to do is be a filmmaker. And I can make a film about this catharsis that I've had right here. I mean, don't you think it's a great idea? I think it's a wonderful idea. Don't you think it's a good idea?
I think it's a pretty good idea. But sounds like a pretty good idea to me. You know, what do you think?
Are you kidding me? Never. I think it's a terrible idea.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Very interesting.
I mean, wait a minute. I mean, what's going on here? I mean, just because
He's a pretty good
you're
film
some
star,
fancy
but a filmmaker?
schmancy doctor, you got a big diploma on the wall,
That's a
and some
terrible
cameraman
idea.
in your office. But I know that you're both really good looking guys.
You're letting me take care of this.
I'm absolutely
Bill here.
How can you possibly come
it
here
is
and have
my
any kind of
show.
opinion?
And
Because you don't know shit about Sherlock.
Oh, who are you, Dr. What?
Or Shinola, for that matter.
I mean, is that what you think?
I think so.